Welcome to the Whitesboro Public Library Story Time. Miss Laura here. This morning we have kind of a special treat, me working in a library. I think it's a very special treat because it's a book about books. It's a book with books in it, but it's a book about somebody who learns how to read. How fun is that? Greg Pizzoli is our author and illustrator, I believe. Greg Pizzoli, The Book Hog. The Book Hog, this guy, loved books. I want you to notice something about these books. Right now, you can't read any of the titles, can you? And usually the title is on the spine of the book. See? The Book Hog. But right now, we can't read those spine labels. The Book Hog loved books, and he had quite a few. Look at all of those books. He picked them up here. He picked them up there. He picked them up wherever he could find them. He just loved books. But the Book Hog had a secret. Shh. A big secret. He didn't know how to read. The Book Hog had all these books and he loved all his books, but he didn't know how to read. He was surrounded by books and he couldn't read a single one. The Book Hog went to bed every night without a bedtime story. Look, he took his little hat to bed with him. What would it be without a bedtime story or two or three? But he didn't get any. One morning, he went out in search of more books. Look, he's on that really jazzy scooter. That really is a nice scooter. And he came to a long, low building. He thought he smelled books. He took off his helmet and he thought, I better go check this out because this building, I think, has books in it. And yes, it did. He snuck through the stacks. He added several books to his pile. But then, as he rounded a corner, he heard a very soft voice ask him, "Would you like to join story time?" He looked around. It was Miss Olive. Miss Olive, the librarian. She said, "Pick out a book and I'll read it with you." The Book Hog blinked. Then he swallowed. You'll read a book with me? She said, "Of course I will. As many books as you would like." Because that's what we do. We share reading. Of course, I will be more than happy to read you a book. This gave the Book Hog a fabulous idea. He said, "Wait here." And he got back on his scooter and he went home. That's odd. Story time was at the library. And when he came back, he had a number of his books. He's got a little wagon for that jazzy scooter of his. Miss Olive led story time, and the Book Hog listened very closely. Look, all of them are listening closely. Some pigs and some owls. Here's a little mouse. Everyone was listening carefully. He heard so many stories, some funny, some sad, and some of them kind of in between. He loved them all. He loved them all. Over time, and with some practice, the Book Hog learned to read. So he's decided he's going to be reading and riding his scooter on the road. That's not a good idea. So although he's doing it, it's not a good idea. Don't be reading and riding your bike or riding your scooter on the road. He grew, the book hog, grew to love books even more. Not just the way they looked and the way they smelled and the way they felt, but for all the stories inside the books. And yes, the book hog still likes to take a lot of books home. I want you to notice, can you see all of these books? You can read the title of the book. See, it wasn't on there before when he couldn't read, but now that he can read, all of them have titles. So yes, the book hog still loves to collect lots of books. But now he brings them back to the library when he's finished. To Miss Olive. How fun. He loved books. He didn't know about a library. Now that he knows how to read, the sky's the limit for the book hog. May he continue to read and read and read. Thank you for joining us today. I love books about libraries and, of course, librarians. We appreciate you joining us. We will see you next week, but until then, it's time to say goodbye to our friends. It's time to say goodbye to our friends. Story time is done today, but come again another day. It's time to say goodbye to our friends. And we will washy. Be safe, have fun. We'll see you next week. Take care.